Okay, in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the steps for doing focused research and recording your information in such a way that you know you got down what you needed and you won't have to go back and find the source again later to track down information from it. So, we're going to start off in your research note packet because right inside your note document, which you get through Google Classroom, is some reminders, examples of what your notes should look like, a spot for you to record briefly what sources you found, and then a checklist for each section of your paper. And I've got some pre-notes in here that I'll explain in a couple minutes. All right, so for the manner, your role, and your object or model, it's all broken down in here into chunks so that you can start to group your notes as you find them. All right. Now, when you go to hunt for a source, start by reviewing some of the target areas. Like for the manner, you got to go over what it's like, key features, and how it works, and then how it's important to each of the three levels of people in English society here. You have the king at the top, the lord of the manor, and all the serfs. Okay, so you want to have that in mind so that when you go and start skimming through a source, you know what you're looking for. So for the sake of this one, we're going to go back over to the live binder, and I'm going to go to one of the sources here, right? Class in the Middle Ages, which is right up here. All right, so here it is. I start by skimming through to see if there's anything useful. And over here I see that land was the form of money for them, that it was a source of wealth. That seems to me like an important detail, right, for why the manors would be important, because they're basically land. So once I've established I'm going to use this source, I need to record it. So I got to figure out what kind of source I have. And I can tell from the scan here that this is a book. Right? We've got a title, author, publisher, all right here. And then on the next page, you have the year it was published, the company. So with that information, I can go over to Noodle Tools and I can create a new source. All right, so I would hit New Source up here and select a book, because that's what we're talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the entry for this. So in Noodle Tools, I know I'm citing a book, just a physical book. So I'm not going to pay attention to this chapter section thing. I'm going to go right in here, put in just the name of the contributor, the author. If there were two authors, I'd click here. Then add in the title, the publisher, and the year. And that's all I need. So that is now saved. And this is the first source I'm going to be taking notes on. So back over in my note sheet here from Google Classroom, I'm going to go down here, and next to source 1, that's what the S1 is, I'm going to put a brief reminder that this is Nardo, lords, ladies, peasants, and knights. It's enough information here so that when I go later on to format my citations, I know which source this is. Once I've got it recorded in Noodle Tools and here, so I have a clear record, I can take my notes. And here's the form of the notes that you take. Here are some details I jotted down from that source. Each detail is in my own words. They're not quotes. All right? This isn't a literary analysis paper. This is research. So you're writing down facts. And after each one, in parentheses, I've got the source number, S1, and then the page, because this source, and I'll show you, it has pages. See here at the bottom, you can see the page references listed. So you're treating this just like it was a regular book. And next to each detail you put this. The reason you do that is later on when you go to organize your information, you'll be able to move these details anywhere you want in your paper, and you'll have the source information right with it. And I'll show you a really easy way to format all your citations at the end if you do this right. All right, we will find and replace, and you'll get all your citations done in about 10 minutes for your whole paper. Now note, the details here relate to these topics about the manner and what it's like and what it produces. Down here, I have some notes from the same source that relate to these topics. So I'm trying to sort my information as I go. You don't necessarily need to do that. You can always sort it later, but I find it helpful to sort of categorize as I'm getting my notes down. And then once you're done, you've got what the source is here. You've got it fully recorded in Noodle Tools. And all of your facts are in your own words with the source information right next to them. That's how you want to do this. All right? That way you know you've got everything you need to cite your information, and you know where it all came from if you have to go back and check on it later. All right? That's the process you should use for each time you're taking notes on your paper. You skim the source to see if it answers some of the questions that you have for your paper, some of these check boxes. If the answer is yes, you record the source in Noodle Tools. You record the source number right here. The next source you find will be source 2. The one after that will be source 3, etc. All right? The source numbers are only relevant for your paper. Someone else might have the same sources but different source numbers because they didn't find them in the order that you did. Right? And then that source number goes right after each detail. If this was a web page or something else without pages, then all I would have here is that. Just the source number, S1, with no page. All right? If you have any questions, please check in with us. We can help you out with anything with this paper. Mr. Arlen, Ms. Menard, myself, Mr. Waite, any one of us can give you a hand with it. All right. Good luck and thanks for watching.